Good afternoon, Year 9s. Happy Friday. As I explained the other day, we have no online Teams lesson today and you're just working individually. But I thought I'd just record a short video tutorial just to talk you through the Cambridge pre-assessment that I'm asking you to do, as it has probably been a while since we've done some maths, about 2 months, I reckon. And I might just take a little bit to jog your memory, and I just don't want to leave you completely to your own devices if you're not feeling comfortable to do so. All right, so for our student instructions today, they are in the Student Instructions Individual Work tab on DayMap. So basically all you need to do today after you've watched this tutorial is complete the Cambridge Chapter 1 pre-assessment to demonstrate your prior knowledge of some of the topics we've covered in Year 8. These topics are going to be really handy for you as we move into our first topic, which is ratios and proportions next week. Okay, so this is really, really important that you have a go at this. So our success criteria today is to complete the Cambridge Chapter 1 pre-test. Make sure you're applying those bookwork standards that we covered in Wednesday's lesson, and you're going to take a photo and submit your work on DayMap from your workbook, okay? So if you can do that, once you've done your work in your book, like I've asked you to do, completed all the questions from the pretest in your book, take a photo of it and submit it on DayMap. You'll see that there in your task is a place for you to submit the Cambridge Chapter 1 pre-assessment. Okay, if you're having trouble uploading a photo, don't worry about it. It's fine. I'll check with you when you get back to school on the 14th of February, fingers crossed. If you haven't done it, you're going to spend some time with me at recess and lunch, your lucky thing, and you're going to complete it then. All right, so what you need to do is firstly watch this video, which obviously you're all doing right now. Access the prior knowledge pretest. It's attached to DayMap, like always. Complete it in your workbook. Take a photo of it. It needs to be done by Tuesday, the 8th of Feb. All right, so that's in time for our next lesson. I've given you to 8:45 a.m. I'll check in with you because I'll be seeing you next Tuesday, I think, anyway, or Wednesday. I'll be checking in with you then, okay? Please DayMap message me if you require support. I'll hang around on Teams as well if you need more in-depth help. So if you're struggling, please just give me a call on Teams. I'll be there for you. I know it is Friday afternoon and probably the last thing on your mind is doing some maths, but it's really, really important that you try and do it straight away because if you need help, you can access help during the lesson whilst I'm on Teams. If you don't want to call me on Teams or you've got only a small question, DayMap message me and you'll be able to find me there as well. All right, guys, I'm just going to quickly walk you through the pre-assessment. Looks like this, you've done this before. Sorry, it's not too exciting. We're a bit limited here with online learning, but we'll get back to doing more hands-on things when you get back to school. So for the first question, it asks you to evaluate each of the following. I just wanted to remind you that means evaluate means solve. All right. So as you can see here, you've got a variety of different problems involving addition, multiplication, division, subtraction, brackets, some exponents, I think, down the line. We're talking about BEDMAS here, okay? So BEDMAS, if you remember, is brackets, B for brackets, you solve your brackets first, E for exponents, then you solve your exponents, then you solve your division and multiplication. Remember, division and multiplication come at the same time. Sorry, I'm distracted. It just means whichever one comes first, all right? So if you have division first, as you read from left to right, you solve that. If you have multiplication first, you solve that first, okay? So you don't always have to do division before multiplication. And same situation with addition and subtraction. Addition and subtraction, then no one is more important than the other. So you do what comes first, all right? So in this case, let me find one that's got addition and subtraction. Don't think we've got one. But anyway, if this was 5 plus 6, take 2, you would do the 5 plus 6 first, and then you take the 2, okay? Addition came first, then subtraction. All right, hopefully that hasn't confused you. but we will move on. So we're using BEDMAS there for question 1. Question 2 asks you to think about fractions and decimals. This one you might need to use a calculator for the decimal. As a mixed number, I hope you guys remember what that means. If you don't, give it a cheeky little Google because we're not going to spend too much time on that this year. It's expected that you know that. Again, question 3, evaluate means solve. Try not to use your calculator for this part. If you can avoid it, please do. Still here working on some fractions, talking about lowest common denominator and converting to decimals. This is revision from years 6, 7, and 8. So fingers crossed you guys remember this. If you don't, reach out. We can cover it again one-on-one. Okay, so we're not going to be spending time on this per se as a class. It's a bit more of assumed knowledge when we move into our ratios and proportions next week. Okay. Again, alongside our mental maths practice we did this year, we're looking at decimals and arranging them in descending order. I hope you guys remember that descending means going from biggest to smallest. It is the opposite of ascending. Guys, here, if you can use, for question 6, you don't need your calculator. If you don't need it, that's perfect, all right? I really encourage you to try and do this without a calculator because it is building those skills that you need for quick maths, okay? Same here for question 7, solving these different multiplication problems using decimals. This one's a bit tricky. If you want to confirm your answers using a calculator after you've tried without, that might be helpful for you as well. And here we're moving into more fraction works with the lowest common denominator. That is putting fractions over a common denominator, so the same denominator, that is the lowest common denominator between the two denominators. So for instance, I'm going to help you with this first one here. 3 and 5 are denominators. They are not the same number. 3 and 5 are different numbers. Is there a number that both 3 and 5 fit into? We can go through our 3 times tables. We have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. We might leave it there for now. And we can go through our 5 times tables as well. 5, 10, 15. So you can see that the lowest number that both 5 and 3 fit into is 15. Excuse my messy writing here. So now we want to put both fractions over a denominator of 15. What did we have to do to this 3 to make it a 15? We had to multiply it by 5. What we do to the denominator, so what we do to the bottom, we have to do to the numerator, our top. We're going to multiply the 1 by 5 as well. So that leaves us with 5 over 15. All that means is, if you eat 1/3 of a pizza, so one piece of a pizza that's cut into 3 pieces, that would be the same as eating 5 pieces of a pizza that's been cut into 15 pieces. Same here with this fraction. What did we have to do to the 5 to make it 15? We had to multiply it by 3 because 5 3s are 15. We're going to have to do that to our numerator at the top as well. We're going to have to multiply that by 3. So that means that eating one piece of pizza that has been cut into 5 pieces would be the same as eating 3 pieces of pizza that had been cut into 15 pieces. I hope that makes sense and clarifies some of those concepts for you again. Other than that, we've got some simple addition and subtraction with fractions, as well as some multiplication and division. I'm interested to see how you guys go with that, if you can cast your memory back quite a while now to term 1 last year. And lastly, working with percentages. Again, if you can try and do this without a calculator, that would be great. Like I said before, if you have any questions at all, please come and ask me. I'm on Teams, I'm on Daymap during our lesson time. If you're struggling over the weekend, flick me an email, flick me a day map message, and I'll try and get back to you, okay? All right. Have a lovely weekend, guys. I'm so looking forward to seeing you next week, and I'm so much more looking forward to seeing you in person on the 14th of February.